Hi, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you've joined me. I am Kelley Pitts, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Lubbock, Texas since 2005. And I have createwithkelley.com right now. And I have a YouTube channel, Create with Kelley Pitts, and a Facebook page called Create with Kelley. So as long as you spell the Kelley right, you should be able to find me across several different media platforms. And I'm glad you tuned in today, whether you're live on Facebook or live on YouTube, or if you're watching the replay. Please give me a little comment in that section. Just type in and say where you are from, what your name is. I'd love to hear from you. If it's okay to put your comment on the screen, I will. If you don't want me to, type that in the comments. But thanks for watching, and please ask questions as I go along. I will try to watch for comments as I go and answer you. So we're going to get started. This card is number 9 in my series of 10 in the Create with Kelley collection for the Peaceful Garden Suite by Stampin' Up! I love their products. I absolutely love paper crafting. I love sharing my passion for that. I love having a local community who gets together and shares and supports each other, and we get to play a lot with our products and have classes and events and lunches and all kinds of things. So if you're in the Lubbock area, we'd love to have you join us. Otherwise, I do online classes too. So an online like class to go kit. So if you see a class that I'm offering and you aren't in our area and want me to mail it, I can do that. So we're going to do a fairly simple card today. It just may give you a hint about something to do with this glimmer paper that I really originally, this suite is the one in the mini catalog that's called Peaceful Garden. And I will go ahead and switch over the camera here so you can see that a little better. It's the Peaceful Garden Suite on page 32 of the Stampin' Up! Holiday mini catalog with September to December. But it's got pages and pages of wonderful samples made with this suite. So I have done 10 cards for you total, and this one is the number 9 that we're going to do today. So I'll totally get myself out of the screen and give you some tips about coordinating that glimmer paper that's in this suite. And let's switch it over just to this one. Whoops, wrong one. Here we go. And I don't know why this looks fuzzy or something. It's just not, the camera does not like this bright and happy for some reason. It is clear, and then you put it down a little bit and it's not clear. So sorry about that. Okay, we're going to start with our card base of 8.5 by 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And always even up my ends there and use a bone folder to get that all situated. We want it to lay as flat as possible. So we've got that taken care of. And we're going to go ahead and stamp our greeting for the outside. The Bright and Happy Christmas Wishes is from the Jolly Holly bundle. And we're going to use Misty Moonlight ink for that. See if I can situate this where y'all can see. And I can see. Both are important, right? Okay. And you just tap, tap, tap. This is an older ink pad. So what you do is on this cardstock, and I believe this is 1 3/8 by 3.5 for the greeting. We're going to kind of go up in the right-hand corner, basically, of that piece so that we have room for a ribbon down here and we have room for the little branch over here. And sorry about my voice. I've had a cold and it's just not going away totally. the voice. The cold, it seems to be mostly gone, but the voice still sounds like I have a cold. I got rid of a lot of congestion. I went locally. I went to have a massage, and she did kind of a lymphatic massage and helped a lot of that drain. And then I sat in a salt booth, which I've never done. So if y'all want to, anybody wants to know more about that, if you're from the Lubbock area and want to know more, I'll be glad to share that info with you. That is pretty close. I think that's close enough to straight for the inside. And that is Peace, Love, and Joy from the Peace on Earth bundle. Peace on Earth stamp set that is from the Peaceful Garden Suite. And we're doing that on the inside. And I'm going to tell you a little trick here before we go any further. Or a tip or trick or something. Well, I don't know what you would call it. But to me, this paper did not really coordinate that well with this shimmer paper. Okay, I don't think you can tell it on camera. But this is not really cloud cover. It has more of a green tint to it. So I decided I like everything to really coordinate, which is one of the reasons I love, love, love Stampin' Up, because everything coordinates. So what I did was I took my Stampin' blends and I just colored in those leaves. And you don't have to be really particular about it. You can tell. I'm not going to be. My tip is kind of wonky, so you could use probably your other tip too. And, we may go ahead and do some blending on these. Let's go ahead and show you. Oh, that was the dark. Okay. We can go over them a little bit with the bullet tip, with the light, kind of show some variation. Kind of some of those you could color the bottom or one part of the leaf and the other part of the leaf, just whatever works. And these are a little squeaky, and that's okay. So we'll go a little bit of the dark. So we'll just kind of give some variety here of how we're doing it. And with the light especially, I think it's easier to go ahead and use this bullet tip. And usually I just do one at a time and go ahead and blend as we go. But this one, I think will be okay just to layer it. Just put the light everywhere. Let's see if this is the light. Yes, put the light everywhere. And since we're going on that Secret Sea background, we don't really need to worry about going over where the leaf is. You'd want to be a lot more careful if you've got a light colored background. But this one, I think we're good to go. But this is going to tie in that green color that is in the paper. Let's see. We're going to have this right here. So we really don't have to worry about coloring that part. You can do little sections and a little bit darker. You could do some whole leaves darker, however you want to do it. It's your card. You get to create it your way, right? Love that. There we go. So we've got light and dark on all of these. And all we want is just a little hint of that green. So we'll do that. Whoop! We'll do that on the little piece inside too. Really quickly. Whoops. And make sure when you're using our Stampin' Blends that you have a piece of paper underneath, because it definitely bleeds through the Designer Series paper. So you want something over your desktop or it will certainly stain it. And make sure you close these till they click. I mean, get them really, really tight. All right, we're going back with our dark. Couple spots here. It's not as critical on the inside, I don't think, because you don't have any of that sparkly stuff to coordinate with, but it might as well all coordinate, right? Okay, that's it. Soft Seafoam blends, and this is the only card out of the 10 that I use those blends on. And now we're going to stamp we've already stamped our Peace, Love, and Joy for the inside. So we'll get our little stamping, our silicone mat out anytime I use glue. I want to use that mat, so don't make a mess everywhere. And you can use your liquid glue. You can use your Stampin' Seal, whatever you like. Whoop. Hope y'all are having a great day. Are y'all all ready for Thanksgiving? Can't believe that's coming up. Quickly, quickly. And thanks again for watching. And please do share with your crafty friends. Anybody you think would enjoy the video, just share it with them on your channel. That really helps my little small business. And I'm going to actually glue this piece to the white piece, and then I'm going to pop it up and pop that up, I think. Okay, so we're going to just go all, except we don't want to go all the way to the edge of this because, of course, our layer doesn't go all the way to the edge. And I have used this cardstock, you can tell, to die cut out of because only a little bitty bit shows. So we're going to just do that right there. I'll move that out of the way for the moment. And that, just that little bit of white border really lifts out and pops out those white little flowers on there, I think. And then we're going to use our dimensionals to pop this up. Wouldn't hurt to have a couple in the middle. Let's see. We don't want one right here because that's where that other is going to be. So we'll just let that pop up for that. Hopefully I got these in the right spot. Whoop. Now we're just going to center that. So that we have an even border, top, bottom, left, and right. Isn't that pretty? And we didn't get this glued on the inside. I'm going to go ahead and do that before I forget. Should have done that a while ago before I went to the front. But I'm a little scattered. That is not unusual. You can ask any of my Create with Kelley crew about that. I stay scattered. Oh, goodness. Okay. And this we're going to layer on here. But first, I'm going to wrap that ribbon around. And this is the Misty Moonlight ribbon. And ooh, it looks like I have one little piece, but not two pieces. This may be just for my bow. And hopefully I have a little bit more to wrap around. We're just going to do the bow separately and attach it with the glue dot. I didn't quite get that very even. I'll do that one more time. Just tying a little bow. But you always have to look at layering when you're doing your card. If you're going to have a ribbon or an embellishment or anything that, sorry about that. Just can't seem to get this exactly like I want it. But you have to look at what's on the bottom layer or the layer beneath the other layers so that you can tell what do you have to do first. And then, because if we attach this to this card, then we wouldn't be able to attach the ribbon because we couldn't put it through here. So this layer is below this one. So we're building as we go up from the bottom layer to the top layer. Now I'm going to find a little bit more of this ribbon, hopefully. Let's see where this might be. And I believe this was in a set. Misty Moonlight and the white ribbon was in a multi-pack that it had both ribbons in it. And I'm having difficulty finding that other little piece that I would think. Let's look. Oh, I found it. I found it. It had run away. Okay, I'm going to try to straighten that out a little bit. Had a little kink. You can usually kind of fix that with your fingernail. Okay, now I'm going to use Stampin' Seal. Hopefully. I like to use the Stampin' Seal on the back and then attach my ribbon that way with it. Let me make sure I got enough right here at the bottom. We're going to just wrap this layer around and stick it on the back like that. Okay. And I think that's about right. And we're going to attach this layer to this, and actually the light glimmer paper, this is 1.5 by 3.5, and this layer is 1 3/8 by 3.5. So it's the same width, it's just a teeny bit shorter. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this. You could pop it up or glue it, whichever way you want to do it. Hey, poet and don't know it, right? Doesn't know it. I am a poet and don't know it. There we go. Okay, now we've got that ready. We're going to add our little branch that's out of the light glimmer paper. And I'm just going to use a glue dot to attach that. And then we're going to put our cute little bow over the branch because that just seems like where it should go. I'm going to trim that just a little bit. And I usually do my bows at an angle. I mean, trim their little tails at an angle like that. Okay, we'll just find a little glue dot here. Or you could attach this flat. We can use just a teeny bit. Make sure this stays down a little bit. You don't want all of these leaves glued all the way down so it has some dimension. I'm just going to kind of glue those branches and then maybe a little bit of that and let the others. I better glue that part. Okay. Let's see. In fact, since that's got glue on both sides, I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. And I think it can be glued. I don't think that has to be popped up. We'll just make this one flat. But you can certainly pop it up if you want. It's your card. You get to create it your way. And this should come, I got that a little bit off, but it's close. That should be exactly even. I kind of didn't get that exactly right, but that's okay. Now we have the glue on the back of the branch. And by putting glue, I mean, making this flat, you can go ahead and glue that part too. I just would leave some of these up so there's movement, but you don't want it so much that it tears up when you're taking it in and out of the envelope. Now we're going to get a little glue dot on our bow, and I always take the embellishment to the glue dot when I can, like that. So you can twist it off and your glue dot is on here instead of fighting with it on your finger. Cute, right? Isn't that pretty? I think that's elegant and it is lovely. Who wouldn't want to get a card like that, right? For Christmas. Who on your Christmas list would love to have this card? It would cheer anybody up. And that is a little bit crooked, but it is okay. These are handmade. They don't have to be perfect. Okay, well, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you want to find the supply list, it should be listed on the YouTube video. And I will switch the camera back over here and show you the card once again. Here's the outside. Here's the inside with the magic of video. Thanks again. Woo, my hair's a wreck. You can tell I'm kind of in a rush to try to get all these done. So hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in again. I will do another card in just a few minutes. The last one in the series. Thanks again. Fun times ahead. I appreciate you. Thanks for supporting my small business. I appreciate you. Thanks. Have a good day. Fun times ahead. Bye-bye.